Hey, so this is a very nice kit. I like everything from the way that you receive it packaged. You get this nice little box here that zips right up, and you get all the different tools in that box. You also get some pretty simple instructions. There's not too much to it apart from adjusting the grinding, which I'll talk about in just a second. But everything about this just screams high quality. They did a really good job with the machining on it. So the first thing first is you have the base grinder. This comes apart at the bottom. This is where you end up with all of your ground beans. And then you see here, this is where you can adjust the fineness or coarseness of the grinding. So hopefully you can see that a little bit, but in the instructions, they explain how to get to 0 and then how to increase it or decrease it from there. But this way is going to be finer and that way is going to be coarser, and they explain how to adjust that. So we'll put this back on here. You'll see that you have a grippy thingy here. This is really nice to hold on to while you're twisting the top, which I'll show in a second. And then you also have this slit, which is fantastic for putting the handle on there when you're not using it. So you can just store it like that. You can also unscrew this top part here, that I'll show really quickly. And so I think this is mainly just for storing it. So for example, if I go like this and want to put it back in the bag, or I'm not doing a good job of demonstrating that right now, but that would make it a little bit easier to fit into some tight spots, like especially if you're traveling or something like that. So that's a nice little addition there. But after that, you add the handle onto the very top here. So it just fits right in there like a key. And then there you go. You've got the handle that's ready to use. And by the way, of course, you would put your grounds at the very top here. And it can fit quite a bit. I have some beans that I put about 25 grams of in here. It does get towards the top and start to fill up the container, but you can fit 25 grams comfortably. I would say you could probably get up to maybe 30 grams, maybe a little bit more than that, depending on the bean size, what bean you're using that day. You also get this little squeeze thing. I don't know what you call these, but it pushes air out. So it's great for cleaning the grinder once you're done. You can take it apart or take this part apart and then just push air through on both sides. You can also use this little brush that they include. It's very stiff, nice and stiff. So you can go in there and just clean out the grounds, blow some air on there, and it does a very good job of keeping it super clean without requiring to use any water on it, which the instructions do not recommend doing, using water. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, you would put the beans at the top there, put the lid on there, which is like that, and then you just turn it. And because of how it works and how much leverage you have with this handle and the burr grinds, the big burr grinds, you can burn through or grind through 25 grams in just a few seconds. It's super, super fast, which I appreciate because my older grinder was much slower than that, and it would literally hurt my shoulder after grinding 25 grams. I don't know if you can see that on here with the lighting, but you also get a nice rubber bottom. So when you're setting it on the counters, it's just a nice feel to it, and it doesn't sound loud like that. It's much more of a thud, which is definitely appreciated, especially because once I'm done grinding, some of the static can make the grounds just stick to the sides. And so by gently tapping it like this, it kind of helps get all of that settled down. So I appreciate that detail. But yeah, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. Really like this grinder for the money. This is excellent value. I think it punches way above its weight and competes with much more expensive grinders. So check it out.